have on hand, going to be scooping some ganache for some truffles. And also today we are going to, let me see if I can access the chat. I don't know how to access it on my end. I'll see if I can access it later. But I'm also promoting the Rise Up, which is bakers assisting the National Immigration Law Center. And we're doing auction items. I donated a class, which is a personalized one-on-one 2-hour class, whatever like you want to do. We're going to do cookies or cakes or decorating or baking, whatever, kind of like choose your own adventure. So make sure to check that out. It's a silent auction and it's up through today. I believe it's 7 p.m. Central Time. But it is up right now, and if I can figure out how to access the chat, I'm going to try and pin the link here. But it is on the community tab. It's been posted there, so make sure to go check that out. I will mention that probably a couple times today, but in the meantime, we have a little tray lined with parchment paper, and we have this little small cookie scoop, and we have our ganache. This is some leftover ganache from another project, and I made the heart-shaped truffles. And for this one, I'm just going to do some simple scoops, pop it on the parchment paper, give it a little roll, and then we're going to let it chill, and then it'll be coated in chocolate. Hopefully while we're still on live. Still a little bit thick. It's been sitting out for a little while, but let's see. I have nice clean hands, but let me get a knife. Kind of press it in there. Like I was mentioning with the silent auction, there's a lot of great items, more classes, some items like some Pride marshmallows and an edible printer and all that really cool stuff. So make sure to go check out that stuff. Hello, thank you for joining. Hello from New Jersey. Awesome. Hello from California. Come on. First truffle. Takes a little while to scoop it. This does make quite a bit because I think I made a pretty good sized batch. But I was just like, for today's live, I figured I have some stuff already on hand, so we could use that to make a few things. It does take a little while to work out there. Whoops. Clean up the sides. Ooh. I was late. What are we doing? No worries. You're not late at all. Today we're doing some little miscellaneous treats. I have some ganache here from when I made the heart-shaped truffles recently. And I figured I would just scoop it and we're going to be rolling them to make just the simple rolled truffles. And then I also have some caramel and some toasted macadamia nuts and toasted pecans that I've been wanting to put together. So today's kind of like a miscellaneous treat day, but also I'm letting everyone know about a silent auction that I've paired with it's called Rise Up. It's bakers supporting the National Immigration Law Center. And I donated a 2-hour personalized class. And so that's up for auction today until I believe it's 7 p.m. Central Time. So I'm also making sure to let everybody know about that. Yeah, I mean, yes. How could you go wrong with ganache and caramel and all that good stuff? It does take a while, though. Yeah. Especially when it's still a little bit thick from being in the fridge. Hope everybody's had a good week. Another week has gone by so fast. I cannot believe it's like a week left of the month, actually. It feels like this just went by insanely quick. But I hope that everybody's had a lovely week. It's been super stormy here. Thicker than a Snicker? I don't know what that means. a little bit to get out of the cookie scoop. But this is also the ganache that's been flavored with a mixture of strawberry, blueberry, and raspberry emulsion. So it's not just regular truffles, it has a little extra flavor. If people don't know what you're doing, you can't expect them to stick around. I've mentioned it a couple different times. All you have to do is ask when you pop on. We're doing some miscellaneous treats and also promoting the silent auction that I joined. I posted in the community tab, so if you want to go check it out, there's the link in that post, the most recent post on the channel. Can start to use that side now. Oops. Lily, my grumbly puppy. There we go. Some of the side's a little bit softer, so this will go faster. But yes, for more stuff on the silent auction, like I said, I'll keep mentioning it today, as well as what we're doing. Currently working on truffles. I also mentioned earlier that we have some caramel that we'll be playing with. And but for the silent auction, there's a lot of really great classes with really prolific pastry chefs. There's Gail Gann is a notorious pastry chef that's done tons of stuff, and she's doing a chocolate class. I believe her name is Riva, has been on Food Network like 6 times or more, and she's going to be doing a cake class. So lots of really cool stuff. And then I have my personalized class, so it's basically like a choose your own adventure. Whoever wins it gets to pick if we want to do, you know, baking or decorating or cookies, cakes, whatever. It is up to the winner. Could do tie-dye cake, could do other stuff. Yeah, sides are softer, so it's moving faster. Good thing. I wish I knew how to pop it in the chat. I don't know if I'm able to type in the chat, because I copied the link before I hopped on. But, I don't know if it lets me post. I'll have to figure that out at some point, if I'm allowed to do that. Still kind of figuring some things out. And it kind of helps pry it out here. And these are definitely like not shaped nicely, because we're going to give it a little roll with our clean hands. We're going to roll it so it's a nice little ball and then let it chill. The thing about it getting softer is it gets stuck in here a little bit easier, but we can do it. Okay, that's better. This part is a little bit tedious and does take a while, but and we have plenty of treats to give people. Why is that a little hard? Thank you. Thank you for liking the live. You might hear my grumbly puppy because someone's out front of the house in their car, and she's always annoyed that, you know, God forbid someone parks in front of the house without her permission. Has anybody here made truffles before? They're super duper easy. That's what I love about them. Not only is the fact that like, no, we're not gonna do that. What kind of pup do you have? She's actually a really interesting mix. I got her as a little foster puppy, and she is the first and foremost Staffordshire Terrier, but then she's also Husky, Malamute, and Lab. So she's a very high energy mix. But she's also getting older, so it's like she tires still. But yeah, her name is Lily. She's actually going to be 10 at the end of this year, which is crazy to say. They call her a senior dog at the vet, and that just feels like it hurts because she's still my baby. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, she's fun. Do you have any pets? I'd love to have a cat again. We had a tuxedo cat that just showed up and claimed us, so cat distribution system at its finest. I definitely miss her. She just kind of disappeared one day, which really bummed us out because it was like, not now. Do you want any kind of pets? Would you have a cat or a dog, or both? I would love to have both, but Lily didn't grow up with cats, so I don't think I'd be able to have one. She always wants to chase them if we go outside, so I don't think that bodes well for getting a cat. Okay. Still a little ways to go with this, but that is the process. It's not like the highly edited videos that I do, where I can just like cut to things being done. But it's got the benefit of a life. I've been in a nursing home the past 2 years. Oh, and are you not able to have pets because of that? We were really lucky. I had a relative that was in a care facility at one point, and they let me bring, they let us bring our pets. So I was actually able to bring Lily, and she was so excited to go on those adventures. And she always wanted to pop in everybody's room, and I was like, we got to go to the one room. She was very excited for those. And the staff like kind of had a smile when she would come in, so. I am sad that she's older, but she's also like, she doesn't pull as hard as she used to. Like when she was a puppy, it was insane. She just wanted to, go as fast as possible everywhere. So she's a little more mellow now, which is easier to, easier to manage. Pardon me. Ugh, my allergies have been crazy this week. I don't know why. It's like it's been rainy, and colder, but it's like my spring allergies are kicking in. They do allow pet visits, but not allowed to live here. Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. But it's cool that they allow pets to visit. That's always good. Hey, Buggy. We can't go outside right now, baby. She does talk a little bit like a husky, but luckily she doesn't husky scream. I'm very fortunate for that. I always see those videos online, and it's like the huskies like literally screaming because they don't get their way. I feel very fortunate that she does not do that. She does what we call roos. She's like, oh, woo, woo, woo. Once I'm back in the community, I will definitely adopt a small senior dog. Oh, I love that. At the same time that we got Lily, my sister and I went to like the adoption thing together. It was like a little event, and it was a bunch of foster puppies. And we did not expect to both get dogs, but we just both found a dog that we loved and ended up adopting them on the same day from completely different litters. So hers is actually a Chihuahua Australian cattle dog mix, and at the time we were told that she was a Chihuahua mix, so we thought she was going to be pretty small, and then she just kept growing. So she's more like a medium-sized dog because of the Australian cattle dog part, and that's also like her coat, but her face definitely says Chihuahua. But her name is Penny. She's been a grumpy old lady since she was a puppy. But they're both the same age. Actually, they were born 2 days apart. Okay, we're getting close to being done. It's a little bit harder because it gets a little bit softer as we go. So it comes out not as easily, but still. The cookie scoop is just so much easier for more consistent sizing, I find. What are you making? Hello, thank you for joining. We're scooping out some ganache for truffles right now. And then we're also going to do some stuff with caramel and some toasted macadamia nuts and pecans. Get off. There we go. We're almost done scooping our ganache, and then we can give it a roll to shape it before we pop it in the fridge to set. I'm hoping there's enough time to be able to let it set so we can also coat it on live, but sometimes it takes a little while. Ganache for truffles? Yes. It is a nice dark chocolate ganache with, it actually has some flavoring in it. So it has a mixture of strawberry, blueberry, and raspberry emulsion. I actually shared this last week. Yeah, I think it was last week. I made truffles for Valentine's Day, and I made them heart-shaped. So this is like the leftover ganache from that. So we flavored it with the 3 different berry emulsions, and so it has like extra flavor. Okay. Yeah, as it gets towards the end here, it's getting like really soft and harder to get out of there. Well, for now, I'll only be able to handle a small 12 pounds. That definitely makes sense. Like, that'd be perfect for like a cute little lap puppy that can keep you company. It's always like the best part is puppy snuggles, especially when it's like cold outside. Lily, she wants attention when it's summer, but obviously it's way too hot for cuddling. So she'll cuddle for like 2 minutes and then be like, I can't do this anymore. When she's the one that wanted it. But during winter, she's like, we're cuddling. I'm gonna be on the couch with you. We're gonna be snuggled up. Almost done here. Have you ever made brigadeiro? I don't think I have. I know that I've seen it made. I wonder if I helped make it when I was a kid for like a Girl Scout thing. But I personally have never made it myself. That would be something really cool to make, because there is Pies and Tacos makes brigadeiro of different types, and it always looks so good. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm pretty sure. I hope I said that right now that I think about it. Have you made that before? What are you gonna do with these scoop chocolate portions? That's a great question. So after we're done scooping, which we are almost done finally, we've been doing this for like 20 minutes. It does take a while, but it's delicious and it makes cute little treats. So after we're done scooping, I'm going to, with clean hands to wash them again, give them a roll to kind of shape them, and then we're going to chill them. Then they will be coated, hopefully on live. Like I said, sometimes it needs a little longer to set, so I might have to do it afterward. But we're going to coat them in some chocolate melting wafers. I like dark chocolate melting wafers for more flavor. And add either like a chocolate drizzle or a little sprinkle of sea salt or something along those lines. And maybe some sprinkles. I don't know. Something fun. But I hate wasting stuff, so I wanted to make sure that I use this up and I could give it to people. I've had them, absolutely delicious. Yeah, it's been a really long time since I've had them. So that actually, I like that idea. I should maybe do that at some point. And I don't think, that's not something that requires the oven. I don't know if it requires the stove, but that could be a fun live when it like warms up a little bit for something different to make. Because I do like to try to do some more baking stuff when it's colder weather and I can use the oven. But during summer, I'm like, I can't do that. It's only like if I have to, and then I have to bake at strategic times. Unless it's for the California State Fair baking competitions I've done the last 2 years, and I'm planning on doing more this year. Then I have to bake at like odd times to make sure it's not during the heat of the day. Okay. Chocolate coating, yes. So I use chocolate melting wafers, and you could use tempered chocolate, I believe, but I'm still like, that's a whole process that I'm still trying to kind of, learn and maneuver and everything like that. So haven't done that quite yet, but I did find a brand of melting wafers that I really, really like, and it just makes it so easy to make treats, and the flavor is just the best that I've had for any melting wafers. It's from a company called Stover and Company. Not Russell Stover, that's a different thing. But it's just, the flavor on them is just so, so good. I'm trying to get every little bit out of here. Requires a stovetop. It's processed to make and constant stirring. Okay, we can do that. I'm just gonna leave this excess. Last one. I'll get all the chocolate goodness out of here. Okay, finally. Alrighty, I'm gonna wash my hands again. Okay, so didn't you want to look this good? I pretty much got everything out of there, but I do once in a while. Gotta taste the product that I'm gonna be giving people. Okay, scoop this on closer. And simply just take our little ganache scoops, and then we're gonna give it a little roll. They're gonna get a little bit messy because they're softened. So sometimes I pop them in the fridge. Like this is getting a little bit like, for lack of a better word, like a pokey, jaggedy texture to it. So I think I'm gonna chill these in the meantime. Just because they're a little bit softer than I want them to be. So let's pop these in the fridge. And then we can work on some other stuff in the meantime while they chill. Also gonna get another sip of water because my throat. Oh, goodness. Okay. So, next, we are going to get another pan lined with parchment paper. And it's been a little while since I've mentioned it. For anyone that is new to the live or just hopped on or hopped on after I mentioned it, I am doing a, let me see. So I'm surprised that mass is firm enough already to get rolled into a ball. Yeah, that's why I popped them in the fridge, just because they were like a little bit on the softer side, because it makes it so, like the right consistency makes it easier to scoop. But then as soon as you start to roll it, like it just needs a little bit of chilling and then we can start to roll. But in the meantime, we're going to start to work on our caramel and toasted nuts little treats here. But the silent auction that I'm partnering with, if you saw it in the title, I don't know if you guys can actually see the title of the live. But I partnered with Rise Up, which is bakers assisting the National Immigration Law Center. We're hosting a silent auction, and I donated a 2-hour personalized one-on-one class with me. And if you win that, if you decide to make a bid and you end up winning it, then it's a choose your own adventure basically class. It's whatever you want to do. If you want to do like more of just a baking kind of thing, or if you want to do a decorating focus class, if you want to do cookies, if you want to do cakes, totally up to you. And we'll like do all that, kind of discuss everything, schedule a time that works for both of us, all that good stuff. But there's also a bunch of other classes as well as other prizes that are really fantastic. And like there is, I believe, an edible printer up for auction. There are Pride marshmallows that are custom made by a content creator, and other amazing classes with Gail Gand and Riva and Julia Usher, who is like this amazing cookie artist. Tons of really cool stuff. So make sure to check that out. I don't know if I haven't figured out how to be able to add a link to the chat myself, but if you go to the community tab post that I posted yesterday, that's the first one you'll see if you go to the community tab on my channel, and it has the links that you need. A link if you want to either bid, or a link if you just want to donate a little something. Okay, I think we're caught up in the chat. So we have this cookie butter salted caramel that I made before. I've also cut some little pieces. Then this is what we're going to start using for our toasted nuts. And I have these containers I toasted these in the oven, macadamia nuts and our pecans. So I think I'm just going to do 3 of those. I've been wanting to do these for a while, and I have an idea of how I'm going to execute it, but I haven't actually tried it yet. So let's see how this goes. Okay. So my plan is just to kind of stick it on here. It's like a little hat on the nut. I feel like one of these little squares should be good. Like I feel like that's going to be a pretty good balance of flavor. And we're going to coat this in chocolate. So I want to kind of shape it a little bit so that when it gets coated, it's going to not have like this weird bump. Okay. I feel like we're just going to try this. Okay, breaking these up a little bit more. And this is my favorite cookie butter to make. My favorite caramel to make. I've made cookie butter salted caramel, peanut butter salted caramel, Nutella salted caramel, but this is always the favorite for me. Looks like it's wearing a little hat. And this is also going to be coated not just in regular like chocolate or tempered chocolate. Again, I just, for right now, my favorite go-to are those particular melting wafers that have the really good flavor, but are also just really easy to work with compared to tempered chocolate. Give it a little roll and see if that shapes it better. Anybody working anything today? I saw a little shocked face. What was that? Little squares of caramel with some toasted nuts is always delicious. And then coated in chocolate, how could you go wrong with the nice crunchy salty nuts and caramel and chocolate? Just nice little treats. I could also do a cluster. I did clusters for Christmas time. If you saw that video where I took like 3 or 4 of these and I put them in a little cluster, and then I either poured caramel on or I stuck a piece on top. And that worked out really, they were delicious. I'm kind of doing like a smaller version, so it's like a little individual version of it. So I've had that idea for a little while that I wanted to try a little individual cluster, if you will. So it's not so much a cluster, it's just a nut, but that's kind of where the inspiration for these came. Just because they turned out really, really well. I had some really good reactions to them. And I thought that, these would be just so good, like a little individual piece. The clusters, some of them were kind of big, to be honest, but they were also delicious. So they were very much enjoyed. By all of the taste testers. I wouldn't be able to just eat a few. That's very true. I feel like because I'm like around stuff so much and like making things a lot, I have a little taste of it, but my favorite thing is to give it away, and like see people's reactions. Like I get more excited about seeing how they enjoy what I made, if that makes sense. Tess. What is Tess? My apologies if I missed something. It's crazy because today is like the opposite of what the rest of the week has looked like. I don't know if anybody else has had any crazy weather, but we had 3 or 4 days of storminess, and then today is like super bright and sunny. It's the total opposite. Yes, okay. How about pressing the caramel flat first and then wrap it around the nut? I could do a few of those too. What I like about these, like with the clusters, because I have done like just dipping the bigger pieces than this, but bigger pieces of caramel. And like when I take them out, it kind of gets like stuck to the fork and everything. But when I made it with the nuts, like the nut helps to not get stuck. So that's just like one little like very small detail about making them that I noticed. But I can absolutely do that. Here, let's press it out. I like, where are you going with this? Kind of wrap it and roll it. I like your thinking. Oh, I like that. I feel like that's like the right amount too. Okay, let's do a few more of those too. Still got a little while for the ganache to set, so just keep on rolling. But then we're also going to switch to doing some of the pecans, so we might not coat all of our macadamia nuts right now. Like a little package. Ooh, I like that. Like that, definitely the shape is nice because it's a little bit bumpy right here. Grab some more caramel. This is my favorite caramel, like I've mentioned. I've actually taught a class on this at the Bake Fest, which is related to the auction The same person that organizes the Bake Fest organized the auction, the silent auction with the bakers. And I taught a class about making the cookie butter salted caramel for one of the Bake Fest events. And it was so good. And people really enjoyed the class because, like, who doesn't like caramel? Hello, thank you for joining. Last week I made red velvet cupcakes and I was not desperate to eat one, so I know the feeling. Yeah, isn't it so strange? It's like when you bake or even sometimes with cooking, I get that feeling of like I've been around it, so I'm not as like hungry for it, if that makes like you said, you know what the feeling is. Like I don't know if anybody else has had that feeling, but I'm glad that you understand because sometimes it's just like, oh, like people are kind of surprised when I like say that I give most of my stuff away and it's like, yeah, I'm around it. Like I tasted it so I could make sure how it tastes, but then I want to see like other people enjoying it. Like I made some cookies on Wednesday and I've already given most of them away. Ooh, this one's kind of not wanting to cooperate as well. Let me wash my hands really quick, see if that helps. It's gratifying seeing people's reactions, though. It really is. And it's like if the next best thing for me is if I don't get to see their immediate reaction, I like hearing how they enjoyed it is so big. Like I gave it to someone, some of the cookies on Wednesday, and I actually heard from one of them yesterday. And like she took the time to like call me, and it just meant a lot. And like to get that feedback of like they enjoyed it so much and shared it with other people, and it was just like that's like the best feeling. And especially with people's reactions to those cookies that I had. That might be one of the items that I make for the baking competitions during summer. Yeah, definitely. It's so rewarding seeing people enjoy what you make. That's always for sure my favorite part. Like people are like, you don't eat like all your cakes and cookies. And I'm like, I taste it to make sure it's exactly how I want it to be. But no, I'd rather see people enjoy it. I want to give some room to our other things. Do. Do one more macadamia nut for now. We'll do some pecans. Pecans might be a little bit hard to fully wrap, but we'll see. I'll try both. But this is going to be like a turtle because of the little, just without, I'm not going to make the giant turtle. So it's going to be like a little turtle bite. Hello, thank you for joining. Hope you're having a good Friday. Okay. Now we are trying with our pecan. How do you guys say pecan? I say pecan. Some people say pecan. I think it just depends on where you're from, right? Just kind of shaping it on top so the whole nut gets a little bit of caramel. It'll have a nice flavor. I'm looking for whole pieces. I can use these broken pieces for other stuff, but I want whole pecans. They look kind of funny, but I know they're going to be really tasty. Excuse me. I hate when I get a little tickle in my throat. Ugh. They were liked so much that the activity director wants to close this month celebration, celebrating Black History Month, so I'll be making chocolate and vanilla cupcakes with regular and chocolate cream cheese icing. Oh, I love that. That's so awesome. That's really cool. That's always the best thing. Like when people like it so much that they're like, can we have some more? Just confirms that you did like a really good job there. Okay, so a few more and then we can chill these, check on our ganache, and see if we can do a little bit of dipping while you guys are on here. Then after live, I will have to finish by myself. Have some time of coding and rolling and doing all that stuff today, but I'm really excited because like I said, I've been wanting to make these for a little while now, and I prepped the ingredients and I feel like life has just been so crazy. Keep thinking like even just a couple of years ago, I was in a very different place, and heck, even just a year ago, I feel like I was a very different person than I am today. But like in a good way. That's been a lot of growth over the last year. Meeting new people, doing different stuff. And for anyone just joining, today we're making some treats that are at the moment caramel and some toasted nuts. We also scooped some ganache a little bit ago. And I'm also partnering with Rise Up, which is a group of bakers that organized it's the organizer of the Bake Fest, which I've taught at before, and I always attend their events. They organized a group of bakers to donate items to raise money for the National Immigration Law Center. And so my auction item is a 2-hour personalized class with me. It's whatever the winner wants to do. If we want to do some baking, if we want to do some decorating, it's just kind of like totally up to them. So if you would like to go and check that out, I have not figured out how to be able to comment in the chat, but it is in the first post on my channel, under the community tab. It's the first post under that section. So make sure to check that out. That has the links if you would like to either bid or if you just want to donate a little something. Either way. I know I keep mentioning it, but today is the last day. So I want to make sure that people get the advantage, like, are able to go check it out because there are tons of really great classes available. There's like a chocolate class, there's different cake classes and different items up for sale. So lots of good stuff. Hello, thank you for joining. Okay, I think we're gonna stop there. We're gonna let these chill, and I'm going to check on our ganache. Alrighty. Okay, our ganache feels a little firmer, so we're gonna try rolling it. Like I said, I was hoping that we'd be able to code it while we're on live. I wasn't quite sure if we were gonna make that work because it does take some time. That is the only downside of live, is that sometimes I can't do everything I'd like to do in the live itself. So, cover our caramel back up in the meantime. Wash our hands for the 100th time. Gonna give this one another roll. Still a little bit bumpy, but better. I just want to get these to have a little bit more shape, and then sometimes I chill it, re-roll it, chill it, just to kind of keep shaping them a little bit. So they're still pretty soft. So I don't think we're going to be able to, unfortunately, coat them on live, because these are just, the ganache was sitting out for a while so that it would be easier to scoop. These would be great for boxing them up and giving them as a gift. Exactly. Yes, I love doing that. I love making like little treats like this, and also a combination of these and the little caramel with the nuts and everything like that is such a great little like variety treat box that's really easy to throw together, and obviously can make a bunch. So that's one of my favorite things to do, is make little treat boxes for people. It's like, yes, I make things for content, but also surprise, like you get some stuff. And rolling is scooping and rolling are the most tedious parts of this for sure. And yes, I will chill this again and then also give some of these a little re-roll. I just want them to be, they don't have to be perfect. These are definitely a more rustic version compared to like if I were to use a mold and this is the filling, they would have the shape of the mold. But for these ones, just a super simple, if I have excess like I do here, I like to just do this just to make sure that I, make them into little treats and I can give them to people. I hate potentially wasting ingredients and stuff I've already made. So it's okay. Lily, it's okay. Hey, hey, hey. She's upset that next door they're working on the house and they interrupted her nap. Oh my goodness. Lily. Oh, today we're also on our final day of the For Those I've Dated series, which is just a week series of making items for people that I've dated. We've had 4 days so far. Today is our final day. Today is arguably the biggest item too, that I made, but it's for people that I've dated in the past and things that I've made for them. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. And then next week, I believe, I got to double check my calendar, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be starting with a throwback week for Easter. So some of my favorites from previous years, some things that I've made that I feel like deserve another look. So yeah, I can't believe Easter, I feel like it's going to be here before we know it. I feel like Valentine's Day came and went so fast this year compared to usual that it's just like, this year feels like it's on a speed run or something. Hello, I haven't seen you in forever. Praying all is well. Hi, it's so good to see you. Yeah, everything has been very crazy. I feel like with the holidays, my schedule was all over the place for being able to do lives. But we're back to being consistent. Next week, I need to double check. I might have to cancel a Friday, but I will let you guys know. But thank you so much for popping in the live. I really appreciate you popping in the chat too. We're just rolling out some ganache right now. And we have some caramel topped nuts that I just made. And yeah, today just kind of like a miscellaneous little treat prep day, as well as letting everybody know that I partnered with Rise Up, which is a group of bakers that's supporting the National Immigration Law Center, and I donated a class for their silent auction. So if you are, oops, I dropped the truffle ball. If you are interested in either doing a bid on one of the items, there's tons of really great stuff, like not just my class, that's a personalized 2-hour private class with you, or if you like win that one, then it's whatever you want to do in terms of if you want to bake, if you want to decorate, if you want to do cookies, if you want to do cakes, whatever you want to do. It's a choose your own adventure kind of class. And there's other classes with even like super popular, like in the pastry and food world. Gail Gand has been on Food Network a bunch of different times, and she is teaching a chocolate class. There's a fancy cake class with a Food Network competitor that's been on Food Network stuff multiple times. And she's doing a really cool master class of cake. And what else? There is an edible printer, there's pride marshmallows, there's cookie decorating and cookie like class stuff. Like it's tons of really, really cool stuff. I don't even remember everything because there's so much stuff, but make sure to check that out. Today is the final day, and I believe it closes at 7 p.m. Central Time. So make sure to go to the community tab on my page and click on the link if you would like to participate or check it out. Sorry if I keep repeating myself, but I just want to make sure everybody knows about it because it's like, it's such a short time window to be able to get people to check it out. So let's see. I did see the apple cookie early this morning. Oh yes, those were so good. I'm definitely very, very happy with those cookies. Sounds yummy. Yeah, how can you go wrong with chocolate and also like toasted nuts and caramel? It's always really good. I'm really happy you're able to join today. And I'm hoping that not too much will throw off our schedule this year. So it should be more consistent if you want to be able to pop in more too. And working on more stuff. Like I said, we're going to be starting Easter stuff really soon, which is just blows my mind that it's already coming so fast. And all the good stuff. Got lots of stuff happening this year, for sure. Okay, we're almost done doing our initial roll. Like I said, because these are softer still, probably after the live, I will, after letting them chill for a while longer, still do another little re-roll because they're kind of like more oval shaped, not fully circular. So I will make sure to go and correct that again. But we can get out our caramel and nuts. But we've almost been on for an hour, so unfortunately, I don't know that we're actually going to do any dipping stuff today, but I've shared dipping stuff before, and I will definitely be recording a video of doing the nuts and caramel and stuff. Let's see, Easter and Mother's Day. Yes, I do have an idea for a May series that I wanted to do last year, but life was, for lack of better phrasing, life was lifing. So I really want to try and do it. It's related to May being Mental Health Month, like Mental Health Awareness Month. That's a very like near and dear cause that I feel, and I'm hoping that I can actually pull that off. So we'll see. I'm not gonna like reveal everything because I'm hoping to get that series planned and hopefully recorded sometime soon, but very much looking forward to that. Let's see. We're gonna pop this in the fridge once again. And let's check on our caramel and nuts. These are pretty set. Actually, hold on. Improv. I'm going to stick these back in the fridge for a minute and grab a little bit of melting wafers. Okay, so for our melting wafers that I use, I actually like to do sometimes a combination. And I'm not going to do a ton at the moment, but they have these dark chocolate melting wafers, and then they also have, I bought like the giant container. They have these European coating compounds that are, this one's dark chocolate. So I like to do kind of like a 50-50 mix sometimes with them. So let's do like half a cup-ish of you. paused. The reason this is in a whole separate container is because I bought a gigantic box of it. Okay, let's melt these down. Starting with 30 seconds, and then we're going to reduce the time from those. What brand are those? These are Stover and Company. So this is Sweet Shop by Stover and Company, and I think it's 1101 Chocolate Company, Sweet Shop. That's, I believe, where they source it from. But specifically, stoverandcompany.com is where, oops, I was not in frame. Stoverandcompany.com is where I buy these from. And they just, out of any melts that I've ever tried for melting wafers, these are absolutely my favorite ones. Just the flavor alone and like the consistency when they melt down is much easier to work with. Like with other brands where I love other products that they make, their melting wafers are like too thick and you have to thin them out, and it's just, these ones coat so nicely without having to add anything to it. So I always am very excited to use these. And again, the flavor. And for the, if I make hot chocolate bombs, yes, tempered chocolate would be like the ideal, but I love using the dark chocolates, like the little bitty ones that I showed you. The European coating compounds, dark chocolate, is so good for hot chocolate bombs. That's why I bought the big box. I'm actually looking to get another one for this year. Okay. 30 seconds initially. Now we're doing 20 seconds. We want to mix in between, but we don't want to overheat them. So we don't want to see it be completely melted as it comes out of the microwave. That means the potential for overheating, and then it can get kind of streaky. So we want to mix and kind of like let it finish melting. So that'll make sure we're not overheating them. Once again, we're going to give it another stir. That's why I stir for a little while sometimes, just to see if it'll help, like the heat will melt the rest of it. That's kind of what we're looking for. Because I remember overheating melts for a long time, and I didn't know that's what I was doing. And actually one of the Stover and Company reps, when I got to talk to them at the Bake Fest, because they were one of the sponsors and they had like a table where you could go talk to them. We were having a conversation about the melts, and I was mentioning like the streakiness, and then she explained that, you know, sometimes with melts that if you overheat them, that's what happens with the streakiness and everything. And I was like, I learned something very important there. I've been using melts for a while and I had no idea. Just a couple little pieces that are not melted. Sometimes if there's little pieces like that, I'll pop it in for literally like 5 seconds, no more than that. I'm also getting our caramel and nuts out. That does look nice. It does, right? Like the consistency, just from melting it, you don't have to add anything to get this consistency. Like the consistency plus the flavor alone, you do have to pay for shipping with these, whereas you, like, because you can't get them in store, but the difference is insane with using these compared to other melting brands. That's why I always go on and on about these, because it's just like once I started using them, I was like, I can't go back. It's not going to be the same. All right, get my handy dandy long pronged fork out, and let's start coating. I'm going to start over here so I can kind of like work my way this way. Just going to pop it in, make sure it gets completely coated. Tap off the excess chocolate, as well as scrape off the excess as well. And then pop it on our parchment paper. And we can also kind of like pop little air bubbles if they come up like that. And see what I was mentioning earlier is that the nut being on the bottom makes it easy for for it to come off the fork. Like, I love making chocolate covered caramels, but the only thing is that they do get kind of stuck to the fork. That's like the one downside that I have not been able to like really work my way around yet, or kind of like figure out a better solution for. I mean, I have a solution, like if they get kind of messed up or something like that, but I want to be able to just like dip and go. And they're already setting because these have been chilled. So I can already see. I'll pick it up in a second and show you. Okay, you can already see like the kind of matte finish on these, and the one I just dipped is glossy, so that's how you can kind of tell when they're finishing, when they're setting and everything like that. So these are setting real quick. That is another benefit to these two, is that they do set pretty quickly. I would say like if it's warm though, oops, that just fully popped off. Maybe the little hats were not the best idea for the macadamia nut. And those will be a little messed up when I get to do a taste tester with. What was I saying? I had a thought and it went away. Just keep on coating. Oops. Come here. I love making little treats like this, especially for like the holidays and for gifts and everything. That's my favorite little. Like, it does take a while, arguably, but you get to make a bunch of them if you make like a whole batch, and people really enjoy them. My sister tells me that I've ruined other chocolate brands for her because of like making homemade treats like this. I'm like, sorry, not sorry. You have? I knew you're going to pop in with that. Like, I'm just waiting for her to say something in the chat about it. Oh my goodness. Don't fall off, don't fall off, don't fall off. Kind of falling to the side because it's a little bit top heavy, but that's cool as long as it stays together. I do like, I need to scroll up to see her name again because I'm totally blanking. I'm going to blame it on it being Friday. But the suggestion to completely coat the macadamia nut specifically, love it. And with doing stuff like this, just like with the truffles, like they're going to be a little bit on the rustic side, yes, but they're still going to be super tasty and people are definitely going to enjoy them. So even if they fall to the side because they're a little bit top heavy, then it's still going to be really good. Oops. Roll away, roll away. don't connect. I wonder, sometimes people do like little like boo, 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 boo. I don't know, I might have just messed that up. That's cool. We can decorate them. Oops. Should have used a bigger tray. Probably grab another big tray after this since I have so many more caramel pieces to use. Okay, we'll coat the rest of these, and then we're going to be hopping off live pretty soon because we are over an hour. But as I mentioned, make sure to check out the rest of our For Those I've Dated series, where I'm sharing items that I've made for fellas I've dated. Oops. Okay. A few more here. These are actually still pretty easy to dip. I'm really happy. Hold on. Do. Plasma Zombie, thank you for the suggestion. I really appreciate it because I was just going to do like the cluster style, and these are actually working out even better than I thought they would in terms of coating. That's very close. The melts are starting to set a little bit too in the bowl itself, so I'll definitely need to remelt these to do some more, but we have just enough to do these. It's starting to stick a little bit, but that's okay. Part of it was the fact that the melts are starting to set in the bowl, so I can tell I need to just warm up a little bit, but not too much. You want to rewarm it just a little bit at a time until it gets more of that nice thin consistency once again for dipping. But from here we could, as soon as they were coated, we could do a little sprinkle of some sea salt or just regular salt or something like that. Also, probably what I'll end up doing, because I love doing this with chocolate treats, is just doing a simple little drizzle using like a piping bag. You could do a fork or something, but consistency wise, I find that the piping bag is just, it is more consistent to be able to like pipe over everything. Could do a single drizzle, a double drizzle, whatever. It makes it look super fancy, and it's like the easiest way to just make it look professional and fancy. We could also do like a little white drizzle just to kind of make it like a contrasting color on top. But overall, very happy so far with how these are turning out. These ones, like I said, are a little bit rustic, but I think if I had a bigger pan, it would have been easier to get them off and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's just a matter of needing to grab a bigger pan so I have more space to work with. But I think that's everything for today in terms of what we're doing on our live. I'll have to just continue working away at these so I can get them done today. And let's see, what else? I have mentioned the rest of the For Those I've Dated series. Today is actually a birthday cake. So make sure to look at that. I can't talk anymore. To look out for that. And also, what else? I think content-wise, that's all of our updates at the moment. Like I said, we're going to be starting Easter stuff very soon. And besides that, like I said, I've mentioned it multiple times before, but I really want you guys to have a chance to check it out if you are interested. I am a part of the Rise Up, the bakers partnering with the National Immigration Law Center. And we're doing a silent auction. Today is our final day. So make sure to go check it out. I have it on my community tab. I have not figured out how to put it in the chat, but on my community tab, I have the link for going to bid if you are interested in bidding on one of the auction items, or if you just want to donate a little something, there is a separate link for that in the post as well. So make sure to check all of that stuff out. Like I said, today is the final day, so I wanted to make sure to mention it multiple times today. But there are just a lot of really cool stuff, and this is like a rare opportunity for these classes and all that kind of stuff. So make sure to check it out. Try and bid on some fun stuff. Bid on my class if you want to do a private class with me. But aside from that, I think that is it for today. I don't see any more questions or comments popping in the chat. So I think we're going to leave it there. I hope that you guys have a really great rest of your day. And thank you so much for joining and being a part of our, fun miscellaneous treats live today. I always try and switch it up and do something different. And I think today was pretty fun. It's some stuff I've been wanting to take care of anyway. So I love doing that. And let's see. That's it. Yeah, that's it. I feel like my brain is mush since it's Friday. But I really hope that you guys have a great rest of your day and a fabulous weekend. And I hope to see you very soon. Bye.